Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Hi, everyone. Hello, TikTok family, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Hi, everybody. Good evening from New York City. Hello, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Dino Cares. Good evening. Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. How are you? Miss, oh Lord, they're keeping together. Don't start. Good evening. How are you? Hi, everyone. Wait, yeah, don't start. No, we're not waiting for anything. Leave it alone. Don't start. I plead the fifth. Yeah. Same in the t-shirt. Yeah. You probably know your answer. It was a long day. So, well, anyway. Hi everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come in. Hello to Joanna. How are you? You think you want to think it? No, to be nice gentleman. Really nice. I think. Let's just say I need therapy. I'm gonna check myself into therapy. That's all. And then we'll take you from there. Hi everyone, coming in. This is attorney Abisola Adebola Olale, immigration attorney. Our office is located in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Um, Adedamola, how are you? How do I feel I know who you are? I think so. So if you have an immigration case, if there's a case now that we handle, we can represent you. It doesn't matter if you live in New York City, you live in Texas, you live in Mississippi, whatever the case may be. We'll be glad to represent you. If this is your first time here, say hello. Let us know it's your first time. We'll welcome you. Thank you for joining us. This is what we do. By we, I mean me and my group, and I should say. We do every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is Alabama time. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in Pacific time zone, I believe that would be 6:30 p.m. Don't quote me on that because I went to law school, so I don't have to do math. But first time here, Deja Vu. Welcome in, welcome in. You're gonna look. Hello, Miss Tina. How are you? Mona's World from New York City. First time here, Fatima. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, so every Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Alabama Standard Time. This is a positive platform. We encourage one another. We all either you were if you're here, you're either an immigrant or you've got an immigrant in your family. You're married to one, you're filing for one, something. And we all come, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. And we'll all come here together to share our victories, to encourage one another, to, give each other the encouragement to keep going, to push the motivation, because our journey is not going to be in vain. Nice to meet Miss Tina. All right, people, come on in. Please share, subscribe, follow, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. All platforms is at Olale Immigration. So please subscribe. We're trying to build our YouTube audience. So we greatly appreciate that. Oh, really? You're from Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, that's all I know about the song. Okay, so what we're doing tonight, it is general Immigration consultation time, and emphasis on general. Emphasis on general. Nothing, because it's nothing specific to anyone's case. So in other words, questions. But so the next 50 minutes we'll do questions. So general immigration consultation time. For those who are just joining, that even those who have been joining us before, we have to remind you again. Please put your questions in the comment section, and then go through all platforms and answer those questions one at a time. I get to as many that I can. Thank you, Ms. Eleanor. I'll get to as many as I can within the time frame. So that's what you need to do. And please not repeat the questions. Well, if you repeat it, I'm going to skip it. Because I'm not paying. I can tell my kids. Hello, Finance Shandy. I ain't gonna repeat myself. I'm going to say G twice. Okay, enough of the squinting. Ekale, am I very question? Am I very question? Invite your friends, families, uncles that have questions to come ask the questions in their own words. Don't say a friend said. The friend can actually come on and ask the question. So my friend, let's not do that. Well, anyway, so put your thank you, Deluxe Royal Event. Put your questions in the comment section. Let's get started. Let's answer as many questions as we possibly can while we wait for that to populate some more. One of the remember a question. The friends be so detailed. Shandy. Ìbéèrè àti ìdáhùn. Question and answer. Can I go to what t-shirt? It was a long day. I'm laughing because what I did wasn't intentional, but let's just end the therapy. Let's just leave it as that. But anyway, okay, let me start. I'll see if I can just go around again, but let's start. Oh Lord, let me start with. Okay, start. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is Attorney Olale. I'm an immigration attorney. A lot of people do not actually know that immigration is federal practice, and so that means that it doesn't matter what state you're living in, I can represent you. And so that's just what it is. Let's know if we can help you. This evening we're doing questions. So put your questions in. And disclaimer from now till Jesus comes back. General information, nothing specific to anyone's case. This is just okay. Very question. That's it. It's not like myself. No, it's not. It's not going to be that way. Or let to respond. Nah, it's just general information. And then a lot of people get help from those questions and answer sessions. So that's why I try to chip it in every third live show. So that's what we're doing tonight. And in the meantime, just visit our platforms. Our contact information is scrolling across the screen if you're on YouTube and Facebook. For those on Instagram, on TikTok, 334-341-4475, olaleandlawfirm.com. And before I forget, y'all, my mama's birthday is tomorrow. So if you see her on Instagram, Aditone63, that's my mama. Wish her happy. My mom's going to be 71 tomorrow. God bless her. God keep her. God guide her and give her many, 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 many more years to come. Whenever, I'm sure quite a number of us have gone through that experience, but whenever, you start getting older, and when you've experienced the loss of one parent, it's not like you don't cherish the other all the time, but you cherish them more. So I thank God for her life. I thank God for keeping her and guiding her. And I pray that she is going to be in great health for many, many more years to come. So wish my mama a happy birthday. 71 years of tomorrow, God willing. She doesn't look it. She's always on the move. If you wonder why I'm always hyper, that's where I got it from. We're just always doing something. So it's in the blood. Okay, let's get started, everyone. All right, so let's see. Hello from Atlanta. Hi, how are you? Thank you all for joining. Hello from the Bahamas. Welcome in. Actually, it was in Bahamas a month ago. I was to be one yeah. Yeah, it's a month ago. I just woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm very spontaneous when it comes to travel that way. But thank you for joining. Okay, let's see. Greetings from New Jersey Patsy Restaurant. Where is that? Where is that? That sounds like a cool name. Hello, Miss Delia. How are you? You sent me an email. I have not had the chance to. I had back to back meetings this evening, so I will get to emails later on. But I've just so if you sent me an email after the consultation today, then if I told you I'm going to send you an email before the end of today, I will send you an email before the end of the day. So just it's and near the end, but it's still like we still have like 3 hours 15 minutes. So, but I'll send you the email. Yes. Can I fly to Florida with? Oh, by the way, talking of states and all that, Iowa State is the new state to join the immigration, uh, anti-immigration bills all over. So Iowa State, they passed their own immigration bill. It's getting out of hands, people. So for all those of us who are citizens, it's going to be November is what? 6 months away, 7 months away. It's you need to go out and vote. Do not think that it's going to be a whole lot of people doing it. That's great. You need to do your part because whatever happens in November is going to have an effect on immigration, whether we like it or not. So the words no. So can I fly to Florida with my New York driver's license? I can't tell you yes or no whether to fly to Florida or not, but there are restrictions as far as because restrictions, especially for people who live in states that are, sanctuary states is what they call them, where everybody can get ID cards, driver's license without delving into your immigration status, and that's one of the things that Florida is trying to put a ban on, in the sense that they will not recognize the ID card from such states. So I cannot tell you whether or not you can travel. That's what the law is in Florida. So it's going to be completely at your own discretion. Anything about processing times, that is something you can easily get on uscis.gov/processing times, and you'll be able to put in your application type. And actually, on their page, it has where you can put in your priority dates, and it will tell you how the earliest time you can contact USCIS to start making inquiries on your case. So anything about processing time, that's or how long something is taking, that's what you all need to go and do that. My partner has Surface. How do I add them on my AOS application? So because of the default forms usually don't allow for characters that USCIS has already edited out, basically because that's their form. But for someone like me that runs a law firm, the immigration law firm, we've got immigration software that we use. So for us, that's never been an issue because we've got the ability to edit. So in your case, what I usually recommend is if you're able to save it as an editable format and then go back and edit it, that probably is going to be what you need to do. But other than that, that really is what you need to do. Black Child, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. How you doing? Wow. How many times in life can one lawfully get married and file for spouse in the U.S.? Are you serious about the question? How many times in life can you get married? Okay. Can embassy interview for green card take up to 13 months and counting? Absolutely. When you say take up to 13 months, you mean you're waiting for the interview to be scheduled and it's been a year, about a year. If that's your question, yes. I am a citizen through marriage and I use customary court divorce. Now I'm trying to naturalize my kid. Will it be a problem? Why would you anticipate that it will be a problem? I mean, customary marriages, you're not required to actually have a specific, or first of all, customary marriages, you're not required to even have documents to start with. Okay. It's email. Serious. So, tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé ṣe marriage ní court àbí registry àbí church tó yẹ pé ó wà license tẹ́ máa ní láti gba a marriage certificate. Well, fún yín ní marriage certificate, right? Or nìkan lẹ ṣe you know, please hear me loud and clear. You've got no business presenting documents. Affidavit, that's it. You've got no business presenting any document other than an affidavit. So if that's what you did, Black Child, because there is no set format for customary divorces, then whatever you submitted, really, unless you went to your customary court and they gave you some kind of decree, and that's when people start to complicate things. And then the story. That's all. Thank you, Miss Delia. How's your message across? My friend, okay, your friend. My friend did his N400 interview and more evidence was asked, then went radio silent. Okay. It always amazes me how people know a whole lot about their friends' information, but let's see. Where's the rest of your question? Okay. Where do you say? Adi, where's the rest of your question? Can I tell me for visa work permit? Can I tell me for visa work permit? Can you rephrase your question? Can I file for citizenship if I have had my conditional green card for 5 years, immigration delaying? So I'm assuming you mean BG. So I'm assuming you have a pending I-751. And your question is, since you've got no decision on that yet, and you've been your green card now is 5 years, albeit conditional. Can you now file a citizenship application based on that? If that's what you're asking, short answer is yes. So your 751 does not have to be approved first before you can proceed to filing for your N400, as long as you qualify based on, if you're in the military, you're married to a citizen after 3 years, or if everything else is after 5 years, or if it's valid after 3 years, if your abusive spouse was a citizen. Thank you for today. Okay, I saw so many people today. So, Mikey, give me a hint who you are. Because, obviously I won't be able to tell. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. My VAWA was expedited approval. Okay, and my I-485 been pending 3 years now. What's next? You're gonna wait for them to approve your I-485. That's what's next. Okay. You're welcome. What can one do when his petition is out of processing time amidst marital issues? So general steps you can take: make inquiries about the case. If that doesn't work, do an ombudsman inquiry about, meaning that's their supervisory office to look into the case for you. If that doesn't work, then contact your senator, congressman, or woman. They would find out on your behalf what's going on. Usually USCIS will, thank you, Ola. USCIS will respond to them. If it's still delayed, then the only other option you possibly have is to take USCIS to court. So those are the steps usually. Somewhere along those lines, send a demand letter to the field office if your case is pending at the field office, letting them know, hey, listen, I'm going to sue you in court if you don't. Sometimes just getting that letter makes them make a decision. And if all else fails, then you've got to file, a mandamus against them. And most of the time, you don't even have a court hearing or anything, because once they're served with a complaint, somehow things begin to move. So, yeah. How often can I travel to Niger as a green card holder? I have a business in Nigeria. I usually recommend, it's not how often, but I usually recommend not spending up to 6 months on the travel. As far as how often should you go in a year, maybe not more than 2 months. Now, if you're not really keen on becoming a citizen, just don't stay outside the United States for more than a year on your green card unless you get a re-entry permit. But if you're always less than a year and you're not really keen on becoming a citizen, because for citizenship, you need to have physical presence and continuous residency. Because frequent travel is going to break that. If you don't really care about that, then that's up to you, as long as you do not stay outside the United States for more than a year. Okay. Can I apply for my husband and his kids at the same time? As long as those kids are eligible, and they are, if you're talking about applying for them, then you must be an immediate citizen. So as long as they are considered a child, they're considered immediate relatives under 21, unmarried, and you married their dad before any of the kids turned 18, then there's nothing that stops you from filing for them and their dad concurrently, meaning you can file everyone's petition at the same time. My dad's case was approved today, but my mom's is still in process. Why is this? That's not a question I can answer because I'm not processing the case. But like I said the last time, everyone's case is different. The fact that you even send it, if you send cases even in the same package, they're not going to be adjudicated the same day. That's just what it is. So, do I still need a priority date to file for adjustment of status after the approval? If your abusive spouse is a green card holder, then your priority date applies to you in the sense of when the VAL petition was filed. As long as USCIS is now working on cases received on or before the date your VAL petition was filed, then you become eligible to adjust your status. If your abusive spouse was a citizen, then priority date is irrelevant to you, because you can obviously file your I-485 concurrently at the time you file the VAL case, so you don't have to wait. I have a removal proceeding and pending VAL case. My question is, how do you see the case? I can speculate as far as how do I see the case when I have no information about the case. What is the minimum amount of time it takes to process a VAL case? I've had a VAL case processed in 5 months. I'd call that a unicorn case. 10 months, 18 months, 2 years, 4 years. Average time on their website says 39 months. So give or take. LPR, married to a U.S. citizen for 17 years, spouse naturalized 15 months ago, cannot file for citizenship, no, you cannot. Okay, let's see. My husband filed in 2019, and my I-130 is approved in 2022. 485 is still pending, never had an interview. So what is your question? I matched in medical residency. Congratulations. Can it be a basis to expedite my vacation case? Do you mean your VA case? I already have work permit. Okay. So I'm assuming you mean to expedite your VAWA case. You can use that. You can try and see, like, you're in healthcare. You're going to be, it's going to be benefiting the United States, but obviously, the earlier you get your green card, the better, because you're serving American citizens. So you can try and see if that works. Okay. Let's see. You are very welcome. Can one expedite a VAWA case? Absolutely. We do that all day, every day. The question is, was it going to be granted? So. Why is it taking this long? He is a citizen. It's USCIS. Okay. Can they stop you from coming back to the United States if you got an advanced parole? USCIS gives you advanced parole so that when you make a travel outside outside the country when your case is pending, you're able to present that to the CBP officers, and they should be able to let you in generally. Whether or not they can stop you would depend on if there's anything else outside of unlawful presence in your record. So CBP has discretion to decide based on what they have in your record outside of unlawful presence. Unlawful presence is not going to be reason why they have to stop you, because the whole point of the advanced parole is that. So because that acknowledges you have something pending with USCIS, and that brings you back in. If you've got something in addition to that, then that's where the issue may be. I just remembered. So let me write it down real quick before I forget again. That question actually made me remember something. Okay. All righty. Let's see. My wife left home, never returned. My green card's not ready. She filed for divorce. What can I do? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case and your options you have. My question about the removal proceedings, my attorney said once the I-130 is approved, then the removal proceedings drops. It doesn't just drop automatically, no. You've got to either do a PD request to the DHS attorney to join in a motion to terminate, or file a motion with the court, unilateral motion with the court based on the evidence that, and usually you don't even have to wait until your I-360 has been approved, but it depends on each OPLA office, the judge you're dealing with, and all, because I've got quite a number of cases where once we get the prima facie determination, we just present that part of the evidence on the PD request, and I'm not going to. I haven't had anyone say, okay, no, we're not joining in now, we have to wait for the approval. I have just not had anything not happen that way. I sent my vaccines March 18, but I have not received any from immigration. Is it possible? I'm assuming you mean, is that normal? It's not uncommon, especially given the fact that they have so many cases in the last month due to the fee increase. So it's not unusual. It's still less than 30 days. As a permanent green card holder, do I need to file my tax 2 times before I can file for my kids? What do you mean file your tax 2 times? What does that have to do with filing for your kids? Anything about how long is something taking to get work permit and all that, please go on USCI's website to see their processing times. Can you marry back your divorced spouse? Why did you get divorced in the first place if you're going to remarry? Let's just leave that alone. Don't let me open can of worms. Let's leave that one alone. Okay, let's see. Bolu Arctic. Still waiting for the email. I can make out with you who it is. Let's see. Silly ladies. Who is that? We're still waiting for the email. Who, I guess I would see later on. If we're met today, then you get it later on tonight. Okay. Invite your friends, family, pastor, teacher. Can one person have a marriage-based application as well as an NIW application at the same time? If yes, do you think it's advisable? So basically, can you have a concurrent I-130 that you're the beneficiary of, and also have an I-140 that you file for yourself? They're two completely mutually exclusive petitions. One does not cancel out the other. And is it advisable? Absolutely. Because if you have the option of getting an NIW approved faster than an I-130, and you are eligible to adjust status, meaning that it's because employment route is very, very strict. You've got to maintain status. You've got to maintain a valid non-immigrant visa or status in order to adjust your status on employment route. So because just getting an NIW petition does nothing for you if you can't get a green card out of it. But as far as whether one cancels out the other, no. So because you can be the beneficiary of multiple petitions. That has nothing to do with anything. It's just that you cannot file more than one green card application, because that's, you have to base it on something. What is your view on filing a mandamus if AOS is pending for up to 4 years? That's what you need to do. What other option do you have? So if you've gotten to the point, if you've done e-request, ombudsman, you've done congressional assistance, you've sent a letter, that's the only other option you have other than continue waiting. So what happened to the date you're supposed to go tonight? Let's go on. Let's move on. Let's see. My dad filed for me when he was a green card holder in 2017, and he just got his citizenship late last year. I'm just wondering if my case can be expedited since my dad is a citizen. It would depend on what category you were in, and what your age is right now will determine if your category has changed and how long it's taking them for to adjudicate the case. So if your dad was a green card holder in 2017, I can definitely say you are not a married person, because the green card holders cannot file for married children. And if you are still unmarried, then your category may change, which may make your case go faster without knowing how old you are, what category you would have been in. That is different. So it would depend on your age, and that would determine where you fall in line. As an asylum been in the U.S. for 2 years now and not be called for the interview, what do we do to get an interview and get green card? I'll tell you this, and whenever I start asylum cases for all my clients, especially recently, the very first thing you see in the email that I'm going to send you is, please note, you may be waiting for an asylum interview for the next 5, 6, 7 years, because that is the reality of what we're seeing. Now, you may be able to ask them to expedite your scheduling your interview if you've got very specific reasons, humanitarian reasons. There's someone back in your home country who's in harm's way or still continues to suffer persecution, memory loss of events that have happened, and the longer it takes, the less credible your case becomes because it's of the delay in scheduling interview. So those are things that you may consider, but generally, you waiting 2 years since asylum was filed is nothing. I met with a lady earlier today. She filed a son since 2015. It's almost 10 years without an interview. So that's just what's happening. Thank you all for wishing my mom a happy birthday in advance. Amen. Meshigoni. I have APC09. How safe is it to travel for 7 weeks? I can't answer that question, but just like I said earlier on, keeping in mind, travel is very, very subjective. If you've got an attorney in your case, then your attorney is going to be in the better position to advise you on how to move, if there's any risk in your travel or not. But to just tell you go ahead and travel, then no. I can give you general information as far as long as you have no other issues, meaning you don't have anything as far as you got criminal cases or something pending that is separate from unlawful presence, there shouldn't be any problem. Generally, I'm not telling you to travel, telling you that there should generally not be any issues. But if you've got an attorney in your case, please consult with your lawyer. For me, I always tell my clients, please do not leave this country until I'm aware where you're going, and we check and make sure you've got everything and there's nothing else that's transpired since the last time we talked. That it's just being careful. And then when they're coming back, I tell them, hey, put me on, make sure you let me know, give me so that I'm on standby just in case. Knock on wood, we've not had to do anything about that. So as far as advance word is concerned, but that's that on that. So I can tell you to travel or not. Let's see. If one is divorced, to U.S. spouse, what do you mean if one is divorced? Okay. If one is divorced to U.S. spouse, is there a time frame in which you should start filing? After the divorce is filed, there are no funds. I don't understand your question. If you want to rephrase your question, I have divorce to U.S. spouse. I'm not really sure what you're asking. Can I get your number? 334-341-4475. That's our office number. You can also text Lydia on WhatsApp or just regular text, and we'll be glad to, if you want to schedule a consultation, we'll be glad to do that. My friend, here we go. Okay, I have a reckless driving charge in North Carolina. I have an approved I-140. What can I do to prepare for my change of status? Sit down with a lawyer to know how that affects your pending application. Happy birthday to mommy, quintessential mother. As she celebrates her 71st birthday tomorrow, her health will not decrease. Amen. As her age increases. In Jesus' name, our eyes shall not see evil. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you. I tell you, nothing like a mother's prayer. There's nothing like like a mother's prayer. I am the woman I am today. Firstly, because of God, but a big part of that is because of my mother's prayers. So thank you very, very much. Okay. Let's see. I wish to go for Hajj, but only have EAD. Can I travel out of the U.S. with EAD? No, you cannot. You will not be able to come back. What you could have done was to apply for an advanced parole, and if you still can do it, But for asylum cases, you've got to be very specific on your reason for advanced parole. But that would be a very specific humanitarian reasons that you could have used. That would have allowed you to travel. But if it's still upcoming, then that's something you can use. Can a 22-year-old with 10-year green card file for her parents who is in Africa? No. Green card holders cannot file for parents. Hey, mama, my mom is on. So, y'all, if you were wondering, she's on now. I call her 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I call her 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕 or more. So, my mama is on. Mama is on. Who's asking? This is me. And financially, Miss Abinah. If I get the conditional marriage-based green card first, can you still adjust your status and get a 10-year green card after the NIWD becomes current? No. You've gotten your green card, that's it. You cannot give back the green card and say, hey, I want a 10 years. No. You're either going to get your 10-year green card based on the NIW or get the 2-year green card. But in the 2-year green card, it will only be applicable if your marriage is less than 2 years at the time they issue the green card. If your marriage is more than 3 years when your green card application is approved, then you don't have to worry about not getting a 10 because you will get a 10-year green card at that point. Okay. Being in therapy for about a year before marriage and still going after separation, how can I request a report from my therapist towards my intended valid case? Ask your therapist. Okay, if one was married to a U.S. spouse and now has filed for a divorce due to abuse, is there a time frame in which one should file for a valid case? So someone flagged. Who is going to be that evil person who flagged this live video as a violation of what? Y'all on TikTok, if it goes out, you can thank the person who did that. Is there a time frame in which one should file for a valid case? If there's a delay in filing, does that weaken your case? You're not required to be divorced before you can file a valid case. So there's nothing that says that you have to be divorced before you can file a valid case. If anything, you want to file your valid case while you're still married. Because once the divorce is final, then the time frame for which you have to file a valid case now starts to count. Once you're divorced, you only have 2 years to file a valid case after a divorce. If you're still married, the best time to file a valid, if you qualify, is while you're still married. So I hope that answers your question somehow. Okay. My last name on my AP is different from my last name on my passport. Can I travel abroad with it? I would assume that the last name on your AP is because you got married. So as long as you've got your passport, your birth certificate, I would say take a copy of that. And your marriage certificate, that would show why you've got the different names. Okay, let us go on. Mr. Zucker, how are you? Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining. Share this live with your friends and family members. You just never know who's going to benefit, and that's real. You just never know. We represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Distance isn't the barrier, so kindly reach out and schedule a proper paid enough enough case. Like just so early, me sir. General immigration consultation, yes. After being issued a prima facie and done the biometrics in the valid case, when can one get a work permit at advanced parole? Whenever they process it. After VAWA has been approved since 2022 and up till now, I didn't hear anything from them. What can one do, please? If you have a lawyer, you can have your lawyer contact the Vermont Service Center just to get an update. Most of the time, what happens is once the VAWA petition has been approved, actually, the Vermont Service Center you get an alert saying we transferred your case to the office having jurisdiction over it, and that usually means this being transferred to the National Benefit Center. If not, if you don't have an attorney in your case, then you have to literally write them a letter with proof of your identification, and they would, as long as they're satisfied it's you and not somebody else, they will respond to you. Blessed and beautiful. How are you? I'm doing well, Miss Merther. How are you? Can I qualify for a T visa if my employer refuses to pay for overtime? Not just the pay, not just paying for overtime is not going to be sufficient as trafficking, but it will be best to discuss this in full with an attorney so that you can have your case evaluated and see if you're able to meet the requirements of the T visa. Okay, let's see. You're welcome, Deluxe. Hello, Miss Ola. How are you? The questions about our update places she could be answered last. Okay, Mumba. Anisur, Mumba. Thank you, Lioness. All right, let's see. Okay, let me see where I stopped. I think we got quite enough. And more question in one seal. It's like you didn't answer. No, because we're going through like twice now. So let's tackle those free of charge. Is it advisable to have a marriage-based application as well as an IW case at the same time? You're the same person who just asked the question on Instagram, and I already answered that. Paper or online filing for N400? What is your advice? I don't care for online filing generally, so that's just me. But obviously, actually, online filing now is less a filing fee than what it used to be. For me, preference is I just don't care for online filing generally, unless I really have to. Is a vow expedited approval an accurate approval? What do you mean is it an accurate approval? There's a difference between USCIS granting an expedited processing of your vow petition. And that's different from them approving your vow petition. So granting an expedited processing of it is not an approval of the petition. That's just saying that you've sent a request, we've reviewed your request, and you're supporting evidence, and we agree with you that we should expedite this case, so you shouldn't have to wait the whole 3.5 years or thereabout. That's different from saying we've reviewed your file, and we're approving your case. So which one are you asking? Let's see. Does your ESN number change when you get an RFE in VAWA? Your number shouldn't change when you get an RFE. Okay. Can you expedite a VAWA I-45 due to sickness? As long as your VAWA petition itself has been approved, the I-36 has been approved, and you've got a reason to support the expedited request, you can always ask to expedite any petition or application. The main thing is if you have supporting evidence to back that up. I accept the compliment. Your glass is beautiful, off topic, but I accept the compliment. Thank you. Chanel, Miss Chanel, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Good morning from Nigeria. Sharo Letua. Okay, that's true. Sharo Letua. Ekaro. How long does I-130 take after receiving a court notice? A file since 2020. A court notice for what? Good night, everyone from Guyana. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you for joining. Welcome. How does previously benefiting from Medicaid affect VAW? It will not. If your VAW petition is granted and you are a self-petitioner who has filed for adjustment of status, if you on the form, the I-45 is a place where it says that you're subject to public charge and all that. For VAWA petitioners, you're not subject to public charge. So getting Medicaid is not going to negatively affect your adjustment as a VAWA petitioner. How long before you get your green card in the mail? I don't know. Um, he said it gives for the hit. Miss Min is not playing. Someone just flagged like wow, but it is what it is. You gotta just smile and keep it moving. What can we do? Because I'm a firm believer. 1,000 will fall at my at my side, 10,000 on my right side, but they shall not come near me. Only with my eyes will I behold the reward of the wicked. It's not my battle to fight. So I don't even lose sleep over it. It's aggravating, but I don't lose sleep over such things because I don't fight my own battles. The day I begin to fight my battles for myself, then that's the day I think I want to begin to fail. But I understand who fights my battles for me. So I will sit and just be still and just wait. So, well, thank you. Court appearances notice because I absconded from school. Are you talking of juvenile court? Is that what you're talking about? At Olalaya Law from LLC. Is this your number? What number? I don't see any number there. Our number is 334-341-4475. God is your 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I love that. I love that. I love that. Can I put some evidence on the flash drive for immigration? They usually do not recommend that you send them any electronic data unless they specifically ask for it. Hello, Ghanaian wife. How are you? Okay. Thank you, Mike. Listen. All right. I think we got, see, we did. That's dedication. I'm like, I like, I'm like, that will question. I'm like, on somebody says, lawyer, that question last night. Oh, no. And does your EAC change? You just ask that question. If unless you follow this, so if your EAC is not going to change, what can change is, so now you're getting to where the issue is. You probably send your renewal to a lockbox rather than the Vermont Service Center. Now, that can also be applicable if you had a pending I-45 and now converted to a VAWA case. That pending I-45, because you're filing a renewal based on that 485, will continue to have either an MSC or IOE because of that. However, if you filed all your applications at the Vermont Service, the Nebraska Service Center, or if you filed at the Vermont Service Center to renew, it would have the ESC. You probably sent it not to the River Road in Essex Junction. You probably sent it somewhere else. A lockbox, that's why it has an MSC and IOE, and probably they would reroute it to the Vermont Service Center. Or you had a pending case which you transferred. That's the only thing that would make sense in that scenario. Yeah, or better late than never. Welcome, Ms. Giwa. Can you have advanced parole renewal? Generally, yes. Generally, yes. Once again, we represent immigration clients in all 50 states, and we'll be glad to. The rest of the questions in our schedule because I'm telling you, this lady said something. Okay. I think I received a notice because my ex and late wife wrote immigration that I didn't enter faithful marriage with her because she saw a Facebook post of me and my ex before entering the US. Okay, so what's your question? Blessed child of the Most High. Love that username. Can one apply for U visa if the individual has been injured in a serious car accident by U.S. citizen under the influence of alcohol on the highway with evidence of injuries from medical professionals? Um, that I would doubt that that falls. It may qualify for assault, but sit down with a lawyer to figure if that would qualify because it's got to fall within the qualifying crimes. That if there's a way you can work that, and but the person has to be prosecuted or you've made a complaint, then there is investigation ongoing. I guess the issue you may really have is whether or not they're going to prosecute the law enforcement in your area is going to prosecute that person outside of it just being a motor vehicle accident. Okay. Okay, absolutely. So you're welcome. I think I can do immigration in my sleep. Actually, I do immigration in my sleep. You know when you just sleep and you wake up and like, oh, that wasn't a real interview. That was you know how many times I have dreams of interviews. Like it's insane. It's not even funny. My kids already know when they know, especially my freshman. I don't know if he's on. I didn't see him. Knows what time of the day to call me on specific dates because like, and I said, hey, I haven't heard from you all day, and why didn't you come, like, because this is about the time you're doing a consultation. Like, that's all we hear: consultation, immigration, interview, and so it's like, yeah, but there's no VAT advanced parole. It's still based on your I-485. So if it's less than 6 months to expire, you can always renew that based on your pending I-485. Okay. I'm not to down with question. So that is yeah. Let me see. Ma'am, you skipped my question. What is your question? If I skip to put it up again. Can you apply for your citizenship while 751 is still pending? Generally, yes. If you qualify either in 3 years, you join the military, 5 years. As long as you meet one of the eligibility grounds, then yes. I-130 approved, and I-45 is pending, but USCIS sent my case to the Department of State. Okay, so what's the question? What's the question on that? You're welcome. So what's your question on that? If you don't have proof that your abuser abused you, but his family and you have proof, okay, so what's your question? So what's the question? Oh, why did they send your case to the Department of State? Most likely, if you go check your I-130, if you check the I-130, most likely you probably checked consulate processing. Very, very likely that you did that. Because that's the only thing that would make sense why they'll send it. But it doesn't mean you cannot adjust status in the country. You just if you get an email from NVC, just let them know that you are physically present. You're going to be adjusting status. Just make sure you follow up with them. And once you get your green card, send a copy of that green card to the public inquiry form, letting them know to close out your case because now you have you're now a legal permanent resident. But you must have indicated consular processing rather than adjustment. Okay. All righty. Okie dokie. That's all she wrote. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you, Isola. What's your advice? Because my N400 interview was canceled and I received the notices after. What can I do, please? What can you do? I don't know why it was canceled. I mean, call them to find out why it was canceled. that's a very, very generic question. There's no telling why it was canceled. You're the one who has your case, so you'll be in a better position to know the history of the case. Can one use I-45 receipt notice to apply for a state ID or driver's license? That is state specific. Each state is different. I-45, I doubt it, but if you've got like I-765, especially the one that has the extension, that may be, but most DMVs still have to verify with USCIs. But it's not so. California, I know you can use your receipt notices to get ID or driver's license, but not in Alabama. Listen, shit. Some of that one. Alabama. Then giving you that. Some very, very, yeah. Okay. All right. So once again, thank you everybody. Hi, what does name updated on I-765 mean? It just means they touched your case somehow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, okay. If she's waiting for 10 years, she can't do anything until it's approved. Okay, let me go back to, I want to make sure I understand what you're asking me. If you don't have proof that your abuser abused you, but you and his family have proof, okay. I mean, she is waiting for 10 years, can't do anything until it's approved. What is still the question? Because you said that if you don't have proof, but you and the family have proof, but she's waiting. I'm still trying to figure out what you're asking. So what are you asking as far as what? Help me with your question. What is your question? Okay, you did the same. All right, everyone. Once again, thank you for wishing my mama Adito 63 a happy birthday. I pray that we would all reap the fruits of our labor. Our labor should not be in vain. Those of us who still have parents, albeit older parents, God keep them, God bless them. There's nothing like, there's nothing like a mother's prayer. That much I know that I benefit from each and every day of my life. And we thank God for his grace and on each and every one of us. It's, yesterday we got, it's amazing how God works. It's amazing how God works because one of my clients' VAR cases got remanded and reopened yesterday after a successful appeal. Case was denied 2022. Yeah. And after an RFE, and then we filed the appeal, and we almost did not file that appeal. But I told her, I was like, listen, what's the worst that can happen? It won't be granted. Okay. But rather than not taking the opportunity within the time frame, and as God would have it, it's not an argument that I know how to make best. No, because I understand that when God steps into your matter, things change, whether anybody likes it or not. The same line of analysis that did not work for other people. The same, I mean, I was reading the opinion, I was like, what? Like, this has God written all over it. And to be able to share the news with her yesterday that her case was reopened, there's nothing like it. Yeah, mom's so special. But so I said that to say this. At sometimes we always think that's the end of the road. It's the end of the journey. That's the end of the road, right? There's nothing else to take out of it. But if there's some conviction within your spirit that says, give it one more shot, just give it one more shot, try one more time. Please don't ignore that. That's one big takeaway from me. And I was talking to her about it yesterday. Don't ignore it. You don't know why. Even if you take that one more try, give it that one more shot, and it doesn't go your way, okay. But what if it goes your way? What if God wants you to increase and step up your faith and take that one more shot, one step to determine whether or not you fully trust him enough to turn impossibilities to possibilities? So I have seen things happen. And like I always say, that doing this work that I do, there's no how you will get cases that are going to be denied. But the one thing I know as an attorney, as an immigration attorney, is that you won't, God willing, you won't question whether or not she did everything she could possibly do for you. So whatever situation you're in right now, if it feels like there's no way out, it's the end of the road, that's still small voice that is saying, give it one more shot. Please don't ignore it. You do not know. You just do not know. Thank you. What that is, what God is about to do in your life. So whatever it is that you're facing, if everybody around you has given up on that, that's okay. As long as you haven't given up on yourself, and you allow the voice and spirit of God to convince you enough to give it just one more try, and see how God will turn things around in the presence of your enemies. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.